Hello, everybody, and welcome to Where is Zur, the show where we find Zur and we look at his inventory together. Today you can find Zur in the EDZ. He's over here in the Winding Cove, hanging out in his usual cave. So let's go and pay him a visit. Alright, so once you touch down in the EDZ, go ahead and get on your Sparrow, immediately take a right, and you're going to have to look for a cave that leads up to the edge of a cliff where you'll find Zur. And here he is. Let's go ahead and see what he's got in store this week. All right, so first up, he's selling the Prospector. The Prospector is a grenade launcher I've never really liked, but it is an exotic, and if you don't have it, maybe you should grab it. But yeah, I don't know. I've never really understood this gun. Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants is a good hunter exotic. 65 overall stats is kind of low for an exotic, as are the rolls for all the exotics this week. With high mobility, maybe good for a hunter, but very low resilience, which I'm quite wary of. On the Titan Armamentarium, this is a really good exotic, and it's got low-ish mobility and high-ish resilience, but with 65 stats overall, this is kind of a mid-roll. Maybe good. You should definitely grab this exotic if you don't have it, but it's not a god roll for sure. And then finally, we've got Starfire Protocol. Every warlock in the world knows about this this exotic in the current meta. This is not a great roll of it, unfortunately. 14 mobility is way too high for my liking. 63 overall stats is quite low. So exotic armor this week, not very exciting. But let's go ahead and look at Hawkmoon and Deadman's Tail, because they tell a very different story. Hawkmoon is a god roll, I would say. Alloy Mag, let me look. Yeah, I mean, opening shot and heavy grip alone with Alloy Magazine, I mean, this is a really, really dang good roll. If you don't have a really choice Hawkmoon, now's the week to pick it up. Really, really good. Deadman's Tail gets close. It's got Vorpal weapon, which is great, but it has light mag, and usually want high caliber rounds. However, Vorpal is always something to get excited about on Deadman's Tail, so I would probably give this an 8 out of 10. Maybe grab that one if you don't have a better one. Hawkmoon, though, you should definitely pick up. Great roll. Let's move on to legendary weapons. First, we've got Volpecula, the hand cannon, with Outlaw and I don't even know how to pronounce that. Adagio. Adagio, what does that do again? After defeating a target, this weapon fires, charges, or draws more slowly and deals increased damage for a brief time. That could be good on a hand cannon with Outlaw. And a handling masterwork. Hey, this is actually not bad. I might check this one out. Yeah, I actually like this hand cannon, but I don't have a lot of familiarity with that perk yet, so maybe I'll buy this and try it out this week. Moving on, we've got Enigma Straw. This is an okay sidearm with some okay perks, but we have a much better sidearm this week, so I'm just going to skip over this. If you're going to buy a sidearm this week, it should be Lonesome, not Enigma Straw. Moving on to Friction Fire. With Killing Wind and Unrelenting. Submachine guns are very meta right now. Unrelenting is quite good. Killing Wind is quite good on submachine guns. Handling Masterwork, it could, maybe, I guess. I don't know. The handling on submachine guns is usually pretty good as it is. But yeah, with the current meta of submachine guns being king, this is definitely one to check out. Under Your Skin, this is an okay bow. Actually, I quite like this bow, but this roll isn't amazing or anything. Like, you know, get it if you need it. Judgment of Calgorath. This is actually a really good roll on this this glaive. Incandescent is an awesome perk, and it on a glaive sounds kind of hilarious. Immovable Object is awesome, and it's got a shield duration masterwork, which I am quite fond of using shields on glaives. So I kind of like this one, actually. I might pick this one up. This might be better than any of the Judgment of Calgorath rolls that I currently have. Blast Batu, grenade launcher with it's kind of just an okay grenade launcher, and the roll is also just kind of okay, so I'd probably skip that. And then Lonesome, which is probably my pick of the week. It's got Rapid Hit and Swashbuckler, both of which are really good on sidearms. Ricochet rounds if you want to be cheeky. Flared Magwell, and Range Masterwork, which is great on sidearms as well. So I really like this one. Like I said, if you're going to get a sidearm, probably get this one this week. And then finally moving on to Legendary Armor, We're going to skip Titans and Warlocks this week because their armor is abysmal. It's just really bad. But Hunters have a couple good rolls, so we'll go over them. The first roll, the gloves are bad. The chest piece is also bad. These are very similar to what all the Titan and Warlock rolls are this week. But the helmet and boots are a different story. The helmet is pretty interesting. Mobility is maybe a little high, and the resilience is way too low. That is the lowest your resilience can be. However, it's got really spiky recovery and intellect rolls and 65 points overall. So this is actually a pretty good roll to keep in your back pocket, depending on when the meta changes. If recovery and intellect end up becoming more important than they are now, and resilience maybe gets nerfed or something, this could be useful. But either way, it's definitely interesting as a roll. And then the boots are okay as well. The mobility is the lowest it can get. Resilience, recovery, and discipline and strength are all pretty high. Nothing especially spiky, but with the mobility only being 2, that's definitely worth a roll worth considering. 63 on a legendary piece of armor isn't amazing, but a 63 with 2 mobility is better than a 66 with 7 mobility or whatever, if you're trying to go for a low mobility build, which I imagine most people are. So yeah, the boots and the helmet are both pieces of armor that you should take a look at if you're a hunter. And that's it for the armor this week. That's a wrap on Xur, everyone. Hopefully these videos are useful to some of you, and we will be back next week with more Xur and his shenanigans. And for everything else related to Destiny, stick with IGN.